Hi everybody, it's Paul with Reporting Live from my sofa. How are y'all doing today? I'm doing pretty good. Now, y'all, today we are going to be talking about a new crime to us here at the Sofa Squad. And this is the case of Brendt Christensen. And it is, one of the Sofa Squad members sent this to me, so shout out to you. I appreciate it. And I looked into it and I was like, I've got to make a video on this. The trial's going on right now. And so what I'm going to do in this video is just go over a quick little overview to kind of get us up to speed where we're at. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so like I said, this is the case of Brendt Christensen, and he is the perpetrator. This is a death penalty case. It's a federal case, so unfortunately there's no cameras or anything like that allowed in the courtroom, but reporters are in there and they're making notes every day. And so I've kind of been reading through some of that testimony, and I mean, it's intricate, it's complicated, and it's heinous. Now, and like I said, it's currently going on right now. I think today is Monday that I'm filming this. I believe that it's day 3 or 4 of the testimony. So let's get into it a little bit. Now, Brendt Christensen is a former University of Illinois doctoral candidate. Before we get into that though, let's talk about the victim, because this is just, I mean, this is so awful. And what victim case isn't awful? But each one of them, there just seems to be something unique and special, as there should be. We're all humans. That just make it like, really? How could you? Oh my gosh. So, the victim's name is Yingying Zhang, I believe. I might be butchering that, and I apologize. Now, she was a 26-year-old visiting scholar from China. She came to the USA with the purpose of carrying out research in the field of photosynthesis and crop productivity. I mean, this is like, okay. Very, very smart young lady, very, driven, very talented, and very brave. I mean, it gives me goosebumps to come over here, all the way from China to study. That kind of stuff just, and I mean, I'll pause for a second. Her parents were worried. Her family was like, oh my gosh, we're sending her over to the USA. Now, I mean, and I'm just assuming this kind of stuff, that this would be a parent's thought. And then their worst nightmare comes true. It's just disgusting. And then it's also just horrible. And not only did he kill her, but it was a vile, I'll say it again, vile way of killing her. Okay, let's go on. So now she was to conduct a said study in the Department of Natural Resources and Environmental Science at the University of Illinois. So, this is where she met her fate there with Brendt. Okay, so now let's get into what the prosecutors are saying happened. So now prosecutors allege that on June 9th, 2017, Brendt posed as a police officer to lure Zhang into his car after deciding to kill someone that day. So he had kind of just decided, and as you'll see in the other videos that I make about this, he basically wanted to be like a notorious, like he wanted to be remembered for something, and essentially decided that it was going to be, murdering somebody. Like he was really big into that. So like, I mean, I guess kind of like whereas we might be into true crime and stuff like that, he kind of idolized these people, I guess. Anyways. Now, at his apartment, so after he got her in the car and all that stuff, at his apartment, he raped, choked, stabbed, and beat Zhang, and then decapitated her, according to prosecutors. I mean, just horrible. Now, here's the even worse part. Her body still has not been found, and he absolutely refuses to tell the location of it. And basically, it's just like they'll never find it. And I'm like, my gosh, her poor family. Now you can't even like give her that, So let's continue. Okay, now this gets tricky here, so I'm just going to explain this. Brendt was married, and they seemed to have some kind of like an open relationship, and he apparently was into like a lot of fetishes and things of that nature. So when I get into some stuff here where I say like his wife or his girlfriend, these are two different people. This is like apparently not a girl/friend. This is a girlfriend. Apparently his wife had an extra boyfriend somewhere. I mean, so this is where it gets a little bit like, okay, he said, she said, what? But it's two different people. Now, it was said that he had visited some like sexual fetishist sites and FetLife, I guess, and went through forums like Abduction 101 and things like that before the kidnapping happened. Please hold. So let's jump to this. Now there is, and if you follow me on my Twitter, I'd posted a thing of this. There is a videotape that somebody took, a news source or whatever around there was a vigil held, and Brent and his girlfriend were there, his arm around her. Now he's killed her, so he's at the victim's vigil march, and knowing that he's killed her, and it's just, I mean, this guy just blows my mind. I'm just like, what? I mean, this isn't even a human. So, anyways, and that's a piece of evidence. Well, hold on, let's keep going. I'm sorry. I'm falling all over myself with this one. So, Brent and his girlfriend attended a campus vigil for the victim on campus on June 29th, 2017. Now, during this time, unbeknownst to Brent, the girlfriend was wearing a wiretap for the FBI. And now so during this, Brent went into major detail as to what he did to the victim. And this recording was essentially used as a confession in court. I mean, they played it in court. And it's bad. I mean, it's one of those where you don't get out of that. I think there was a case recently in New Jersey where the kid had killed his friend for some money, and he was sitting in somebody's car it was horrible. Him describing how long it took to kill her to his other friend. It was like that, where you just don't come back from it. I mean, it's just that it was one of those. And that he's saying, they'll never find her body. I guess I'm really good at this. And I mean, it was disgusting. Allegedly, he told this girlfriend in the weeks prior that he wanted to be an infamous killer. And now I went on a quick Reddit dive, and of course I went on a quick Reddit dive. What true crime thing would be good without a quick Reddit dive? So, and is there such thing as a quick Reddit dive? I don't think so. I spent a couple hours on it. But what I was reading was about this girlfriend, and so all these people were coming up with this stuff about, they thought it was an FBI agent and this and the other, and I mean, it was just, how Reddit goes. I mean, they have, a whole series of movies based on who this girlfriend was. I'm not 100% sure who the girlfriend was at this point. Not sure how long he was going out with her. So there's that. All I know is that she flipped on him for some reason. And thank God she did. So, because she got very important evidence. So, now also in this, he told her on the wiretap that Zhang was his 13th victim. But the cop, nobody can find any evidence to back this up, and they basically think that he's BSing. Because they're just like, look, this guy wanted to be, a famous serial killer. I mean, that would be something cool to him. 13, to me, I'm just like, it's so hokey. Okay, so now he entered back in 2017, and he entered a not guilty plea to a federal charge of kidnapping resulting in death once he was arrested. But in the opening statements, and again, I'm going to make a different video with opening statements and all that kind of stuff, because I just don't want to make this huge, long video here. In opening statements, his lawyers almost immediately were like, yep, he did it, he killed him. And so it was an interesting move to take, because we've seen this. If you follow me with the Tim Jones trial, now obviously he was trying to do insanity. This guy's not trying to do that. I think they're trying to plead to the court of like, look, I did it. I'm not hiding it. Because some of these things, you can't say anything other than you did it. And if you try to, you just can't do it. So I think it's an interesting move on his lawyer's part, and we'll follow, see how that goes. Okay, so let's just do a little background information here. Some of this I already said. Now, Brent was born in 1989 in Wisconsin. He worked in the physics field, and he seemed to be highly regarded by, his students and people. He seemed to be highly regarded to the kids he taught. Now, his wife, Michelle Christensen, they became man and wife in March of 2011. Now, as I said earlier, they had some kind of an open relationship situation, and this crime occurred, she was gone on a trip with her boyfriend, so not obviously with Brent, and that's when it seems like this crime took place. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I mean, who knows? I'm not trying to sit here and even go down that rabbit hole right now, because I don't think that could just ignite something this heinous. Now, in 2018, following, when the evidence started being he did it, all this is coming out, she divorced him, and she's changed her name for obvious reasons, and whatnot. And so the divorce was finalized not that long ago, December of 2018, and she's actually, and we'll see, I have to double check this, but for right now, she apparently is working with the defense team to keep him away from the death penalty. She, I guess, is not in favor of the death penalty. Let me double confirm that or whatever. So I've seen it in a couple of sources, but I just want to make sure, because that could change too. too. I mean, we kind of saw how that went with Amber and the Tim Jones Jr. trial where she wasn't for it, but she's like, I respect their decision. So, we'll see. So that's it. Like I said, I'm going to do separate videos for this one because it's going on right now, but we don't have access to watch it as it unfolds. And we're a few days behind, so I want to read through that before I, sit here and make some huge long 30-minute video. I'd rather do it in little segments. So anyways, again, his name's Brendt Christensen if you want to look it up. And we'll be discussing this one in our Discord and here in the comment section. I hope everybody's having a great day. And I look forward to the next one. Bye.